With a new season comes new challenges, and for a St. Francis Brooklyn women's basketball team that's coming off of their best season in program history, a gauntlet of opponents are waiting for them in their non-conference schedule before NEC play gets started. And with women's basketball analyst Megan Hughes, I'm Jason Guerrette to talk about the non-conference portion of the schedule, which begins, Megan, with the WNIT, the preseason WNIT. First time that this program has ever been invited to a prestigious tournament like the WNIT, and they're going to get thrown in the fire right away with the three-time defending America East champions in the Albany Great Danes.
You said it, Jason. This is a tremendous honor for the program, and Coach John Thurston has really laid the foundation. This program has turned the corner, and for them to be invited to the WNIT says something about where this program is headed. But you said the level of competition is very stiff in this tournament. Albany being a three-time, or about to be a three-time, potentially American East champion, playing with the likes of major Division I players and programs coming from the Big East, from the Big Ten, from the Pac-12. They are really competing with some of the nation's best.
And those nations' best include Penn State out of the Big Ten, Colorado from the Pac-12, West Virginia from the Big 12, Mississippi State out of the SEC, Seton Hall from the Big East, and also local Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference power Rider. Are also in that tournament as potential opponents for the St. Francis Brooklyn squad, and the preseason America East Player of the Year as well. The defending Player of the Year from the America East in Albany's Sharisha Richards is waiting for them in game number 1, and you don't find non-conference opponents right out of the chute like that are the quality of Albany.
You don't, and it's going to be a test early for the Terriers. They're going to have to come out and come with a very high level of play from the get-go. It's not going to be an easy moment for them. They're going to be thrown into the fire.
And that's only one of a couple of postseason tournaments that the St. Francis Brooklyn women's basketball team is invited to this year. Around Thanksgiving, they will head to South Orange to participate in the Seton Hall Thanksgiving Classic, and their opponent in the first round of that tournament is a St. Joseph's Hawks team that was the runner-up in the Atlantic 10 last year.
Yeah, the Atlantic 10 is a very competitive conference as well, and I think what we're noticing is the theme throughout this season. The St. Francis Terriers are not slacking for competition in their non-conference schedule. Like you said, with St. Joseph's, they competed very strongly in the A10 last season. It's going to be an early test for them as well.
The other matchup in that Seton Hall Thanksgiving tournament will be Seton Hall and St. Peter's, and so the Terriers could possibly face Seton Hall out of the Big East or St. Peter's out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. The home opener is December 3rd at 7 o'clock against Stony Brook, America East runner-up, WNIT participant from a year ago. Every single opponent in this non-conference schedule is going to be tough.
Absolutely, you said it there, and I don't think there's any nights that the Terriers can take off. They're going to have to bring it and be ready early on in the season.
And there's one night in particular that the St. Francis Brooklyn Terriers will have to come here and bring it, and that is when they host Georgia Tech out of the ACC on December 20th at noon here at the Pope Physical Education Center. You don't see major conference teams coming into Brooklyn Heights that often. In fact, it's hardly ever happened. And Georgia Tech, who's a program that's been competitive in the ACC for the better part of the last decade, coming to Brooklyn Heights, that's another step up for this team.
Everyone mark your calendars. This is a very exciting event. To have an ACC team, which is perhaps one of the best conferences in the nation, coming into the Pope Physical Education Center is big. And Georgia Tech, they're a powerhouse conference. They have a number 7 preseason ranking in the ACC, and they bring in athletes that are loaded and ready to go. They run the floor well. They're very, very deep, and it's going to be a tremendous test for the Terriers at home.
The Terriers do have an experienced roster to take on this gauntlet of non-conference opponents, the toughest non-conference schedule that this program has ever gone through. But as you mentioned before, head coach John Thurston has spent the last couple of years preparing what was a very young team when he took over into a veteran team this year to take on the likes of an ACC opponent, an America East champion, America East runner-up, and teams like they're going to face this year.
Yeah, I agree, Jason. The very competitive non-conference schedule is only going to prepare the Terriers for what they're going to face in a NEC conference with a lot of parity. I think it's really going to help them turn the corner in moments when they're going to be tested early. They'll take that and they'll learn from those, and hopefully it'll get them over the edge in their conference play.
And conference play will be challenging as always. Be sure to tune into our other previews here on sfcathletics.com for Terriers women's basketball. For Megan Hughes, I'm Jason Guerrette.